This is a little cryptic.
It's a clue. Don't worry if you can't solve her riddles all at once. I'll translate new clues every night.
But the Abbey grounds are huge. How will I know where to look?
You used to love running around these grounds as a child. If you need a refresher, study your map. Hunter, hello. I see you found one of the elemental rods. If you'd like to keep going, you may keep searching for more. I see you found another of our mystic landmarks. These are the Standing Stones. Your ancestors among the blood used them to converse with the Elder Gods.
How does that work?
Members of the blood would gather among the stones and enter a sort of meditative trance. They say the gods would hear their thoughts, but the blood never knew for sure who was listening on the other end. Some of the older texts refer to a series of glyphs etched on the stones, but at first glance they seem to have been scoured clean by time itself.
Could they still be revealed somehow?
You read my mind, Hunter. I suspect the glyphs are still here. They just need the right words of encouragement, if you catch my meaning. Need something, dear?
You said something earlier about the blood.
In a world full of mysteries, the blood have managed to remain even more mysterious than most. They were an ancient race, said to be born of the Elder Gods. As I understand it, they were very strict about maintaining their bloodline. That's probably why you don't hear about them very often. And yet, here you are, one of their direct descendants.
Are there others?
It's quite possible. But even if there are, they might not even know it themselves. Somehow, I take comfort in that.
What they do not know cannot hurt them.
Indeed.
After our last battle, what happened to Lilith?
You were in the woods. You and your mother obviously came to blows. But we found no wounds, no evidence of what happened at all. A silent, deathly embrace between mother and child. We had hoped you would both find peace in the next life.
But she is not buried here.
No. We entrusted her to the Knights of Wondergore, the ancient protectors of your ancestral homeland in Transia. I don't think they ever expected to contend with an organization like Hydra, and I doubt Lilith spared any who survived her reawakening.
What would Wanda want with your altar?
What can I say? Some people have a curious, adventurous itch that just has to be scratched. I was one of them, and so was Wanda. Caretaker, not so much, but I see it again in you, Hunter.
So you encouraged her exploration?
Of course. Why wouldn't I? What good is being as powerful as we are if we're just going to spend all our time cooped up within these walls? What's the worst that could happen? You got me there, dear.
What do you know about the moon seals?
Presumably forged by the gods themselves, I like to think of a moon seal as both a lock and a key. With the right power, wielded by the right person, the energy of the seal is unleashed, creating a conduit to the Elder Gods.
And I am that right person.
Just another benefit of being descended from the blood. Lucky you, dear.
Where did the words of power come from?
While I often call them blessings or gifts of the old gods, the words of power are actually powerful invocations tuned to the unique energies found in descendants of the blood.
And Caretaker used the words as well.
Of course, dear. Sarah used the words of power on the Abbey grounds just as you do today. Many of the areas you encounter that seem receptive to these spells are actually the result of Sarah's frequent undertakings. Can that really be you? After all these years, it is good to see your face again.
Wish I could say the same, Mother. Now enough with this deception and reveal your true form.
But this is my true form. The way I was when you were just a sweet, helpless little baby. You don't remember that, do you? Well, I do. Bringing you into the world was the happiest time in my life.
And taking you out of this world again will be mine.
I had thought the words of power would open your eyes. But I should have known my sister and her pet witch would continue to withhold the truth from you.
And what truth is that?
The truth they are keeping from you. You need only.
Wait! Mother! Where did you... Was that really her?
It turns out Tony does occasionally make useful contributions.
We are finally getting some decent tech down here. Welcome to Tony's Scary Demon Cave. I'm Tony, and how may I assist you today? No peeking now. Got some upgrades for you, hot off the press. Or forge. Later.
There you are, Hunter. Got time to look at something? You have that, I want to ask you something, but I'm not sure I should look on your face. Go on, ask.
What does it feel like to fly?
That's not it. You really wanted to ask if Captain Marvel can take you flying sometime.
That would be wonderful, if you do not mind.
I'll put you down on the list. You were the last Midnight Sun to ask. I'm actually surprised Blade wants some airtime.
I'm not.
What?
Nothing.
Okay then. We're doing this again. Make plans. The intel cache we recovered from Hydra's gunship might seem sophisticated to the casual bystander, but they probably weren't expecting to go up against the likes of me. With Central's help, I can decrypt these babies in no time, providing us a valuable and fascinating glimpse into Hydra's twisted little minds. That was a worthy... Any new leads? I asked Tony if he had any material on encryption, and he left me this pile of spellbooks. Something tells me Dr. Strange is probably looking for them. Beginning decryption sequence. Fascinating info here. And by fascinating, I mean I want to blast these creeps to the moon. Now that we've decrypted the intel, let's put what we've learned to good use. Check out the available hero ops listed on Central. I think I can handle that. Thanks, Hunter. We've got a situation rapidly developing. I'll be in contact soon, Hunter. What are you doing, Faustus? Hunter, my second favorite zombie superhero.
Who is your first?
Tony, on 2 hours of sleep. So, what do you need?
I have questions for you.
Sure, ask away.
Tell me about yourself, Carol.
What in particular?
Who were you before you became Captain Marvel?
Air Force pilot. I used to fly the unfriendly skies before I was attached to the space program. And back then, I was entirely human.
You are not entirely human?
Not since I uncovered actual, for real aliens. There was an accident with some alien tech that rewrote my DNA, and now I'm half Kree.
I have never heard of the Kree.
Neither had I. They have a space empire. It's crazy to think they've been around far longer than you've been alive.
How did Carol Danvers become Captain Marvel?
During my time with the space program, I found myself involved in a conflict between alien species, Kree and Skrulls. I got too close to a device called the Psyche Magnetron, and it completely altered me. A Kree soldier known as Marvel felt responsible for what happened and took me under his wing. He was a hero in his own right, and we fought beside each other for years. He's gone now, but I took the name Captain Marvel as a tribute to what he stood for. Since then, I've made the name my own.
Your strength is hard for me to fathom.
With all this gamma weirdness keeping Banner in banner form, I'm Earth's mightiest Avenger. Once Thor realized the Hulk was in a class of his own, he was not happy to be in third place. He still challenges me to arm wrestling contests, and loses. He's much less salty since I started calling him Asgard's mightiest Avenger.
How powerful would you say you are?
When someone says we need to call in the big guns, they're talking about me. Just don't say it in front of Bruce. The Hulk is an order of magnitude stronger, no question. But he doesn't have my precision, patience, or reliability. At least, that's how Bruce put it.
That much power. And it does not seem to have gone to your head.
I do get cocky sometimes, but I don't take any of this for granted. And I always remember where I came from. Arrogance is like punching the afterburner with your wheels down.
Tell me about the Avengers.
Sure, what about us?
How long have you been an Avenger?
Over a decade. Still hard to believe. We've been so busy dealing with one crisis or another, it's hard to mark the time. My coffee tally puts me just shy of 20,000, excluding the cups I forgot to track.
What are your thoughts on your fellow Avengers?
I'm with the team for a reason. I believe in what we do. All of us do. I'm sure you've noticed Tony can be abrasive, but I never doubt his commitment. He and Banner used to fight like cats in a sack. Thankfully, they seem to be past that. And I can't think of anyone better to deal with a mystical enemy than Doctor Strange. He's a little out of sorts right now, what with being pushed out of his home, but he'll adjust.
Do you think your team can find common ground with the Midnight Suns?
Look, I try not to get involved in team politics. I'll work with anyone who gets the job done. I don't care what team they're from.
Do all the Avengers feel the same?
No comment.
Thank you, Carol.
Anytime. And hey, if you find the time, we should hang out.
I will consider that.
Of course.
Ready to work?
New and improved.
If you can beat Carol in a straight fight, I'll let you skip training. Good luck with that. I'm ready when you are. Just remember the most important. There are no rules.
Hey, can I ask a favor? Thanks, Hunter.
Tony, why do you name everything after yourself?
Well, you seem like a bright person. Why don't you tell me?
Because you are accountable for what you make.
Exactly. It's the mark of my trade. Whatever I make has to live up to the family name, or I won't release it.
The family name?
Yeah, this all started as a mom and pop, run by my mom and pop. I have to honor their memory, and this helps me do it.
So the names are all for them?
Most. I slap my first name on the pure vanity projects. Helps keep me humble when they inevitably fail.
Can you give me an example?
Tony Tunes. Once vinyl came back, I really did think people would want a portable record player. The thing didn't skip. I went snowboarding with the Carmina Burana blasting in my ears.
So why did it fail?
Well, records are huge. You'd have to wear it like a backpack. And they're roughly 45 minutes of music, so you'd hear the same music on repeat. The only place you can find it now is one of those British spy flicks. $3 million in product placement bought us 3 seconds in the background. Well, I had a blast. Hope you did too.
No pain, no gain.
Robbie, what was most important to you before you were pulled into this life?
Same thing as after. My little brother Gabe. He may be on the other side of the country, but he's what keeps me going.
Gabe must be proud of his big brother.
Yeah, he is. Oh, you mean for what we're doing here? Nah, he doesn't know that part of my life.
You ever going to tell him?
I don't know. Maybe one day? For now, he just needs Robbie in his life.
He is a lucky kid.
Thanks, Hunter. Always great to hang with you, Hunter. You're like a extra extended family.
Cardio's good for the heart. And the arc reactor, where my heart should be.
You used to be a surgeon.
Yes. What seems like long ago.
Do you miss it?
No.
You are not usually so brief.
Stephen Strange, the surgeon, was a very different person. Selfish, vain, and prone to grandiose delusions of grandeur.
What could cause you so much shame?
I cared more for personal status than my patients. Most of those were wealthier clients who could afford the procedures. I did no harm, mind you, but for all my talent, I can't say I did much good. Let's endeavor to meet again soon. Nature's poetry is a bird dancing.
Well, don't leave me in suspense. How are you enjoying the library?
I thought we were past that.
We are, but I'm still allowed to be annoyed with you. I expect a bit of pushback from the others, but not from you, Hunter.
Why not? When have I ever made things easy for you?
You had your moments, few and far between, but that's exactly my point. You know what that place, what she meant to me, and you did it anyway.
If I had known it meant this much to you, I would have waited. It was not my intention to defy or hurt you.
Hurt, no. Defy, maybe. At the same time, I know I haven't been very open with you about everything that's happened.
At least we are talking now. Silence between us would only make things worse.
You're right about that. We have bigger things to worry about. Like the mouthy alien tormenting Spider-Man as we speak.
He did risk himself for us without hesitation. We owe him for that, at least.
For once, I think the entire team is in agreement. It's only a matter of tracking Venom down.
I would just follow the trail of destruction, but maybe there is another way.
I'm sure we'll come up with something. Don't leave poor Spider-Man waiting too long now.
Good girl, Charlie.